everyone, and welcome to Crafter's Grove. So today's project, I'm going to be demonstrating zero waste gift wrapping. This is a wonderful way to reduce your budget, to reduce your environmental footprint, and to display gifts in a really beautiful, unique way. So here's the project I'm going to be demonstrating today. If you're interested, stay tuned for the video. And if you like what you see, please click like. If you want to see more of these crafting videos, subscribe. If you have any feedback, definitely put it in the comments below. And if you think someone else will like my videos, please share. The more, the merrier. Okay, enjoy. Okay, so I'm here in the spare bedroom because I have some gifts for Steven for Valentine's Day, and I want to wrap them. So he's downstairs working, I'm up here tucked away in the bedroom to have this surprise for him. So a couple of years ago, Steven and I decided that we wanted to reduce our waste and reduce our plastic use. So whenever we give gifts to each other, now we wrap them in reusable wrapping. This is something that is going to take a while to really perfect and get comfortable with, but we've been doing it for a couple years now, and so I've been coming up with some ideas that I wanted to share with you. So I have 3 items that I want to wrap today. I'm just going to put those off to the side. So we've been storing things like scarves, old fabric belts, old ties, everything that can be used to wrap a gift. So let's select some things and I'll show you some wrapping techniques. So when I'm wrapping gifts, I like to select fabric that is appropriate for the theme that I'm wrapping the gift for. So this is for Valentine's Day. I'm trying to pick Valentine's Day colors. You also want to make sure you have a large piece that is big enough to cover the item that you're wrapping and a smaller piece to help secure the large piece around the gift. Okay, let's start with the book first. So remove the other things out of the way. Put this off to the side. And so you can see this is a scarf that's quite sheer, so it does need quite a bit of layers to hide the gift inside, and it does have 2 different patterns, so you have to pick ahead of time what you want to show as the embellishment, as the top of the gift. So I like this one a little bit better. It's a little bit more Valentine's-like, so we'll keep that as the top. And so I'm going to start by placing the book relatively in the middle of the scarf. Now the great thing about fabric wrapping as opposed to paper wrapping is it's very forgiving. And as you know from my other videos, I like forgiving things because I'm not the most graceful person. I tend to be quite clumsy. And then it gives you time to sort of play around and see like what's the best look for what you're going for. Okay, so I've wrapped up the book in the center of the scarf, and now I just want to actually narrow the fold a little bit beyond the book. That's going to keep it from bowing out as you wrap it or overlapping beyond the edges of the book. So just holding that and then just folding the piece. And then what I'm going to do is leave some of the scarf, the ends of the scarf at the top, as a bow. Now to make them the same length, because I guess I didn't plan that out quite as good, I am wrapping the longer piece around the shorter piece, and then that's going to make more of a symmetrical length. So if I just stopped here, it would unfold and wouldn't look so nice. so that's what this smaller piece is for. This is an old bow tie or scarf. It's been, you can see it's quite wrinkled. So you could iron the items before you use them. But I know for this one, I'm not going to have it showing too much. It's more to secure the package, so I'm not too worried about the wrinkles. So what I'm going to do is wrap it around this bit of the scarf, and I'm going to do that very tightly. So wrap it and then secure it with a good pull on either end. And then I'm going to flip the project over, twist the bow once, flip it back, and then I'm going to tie the black scarf or tie around the twisted part of the red scarf. I'm not going to tie it in a knot. I'm doing a pull through, so I'm not sure if you saw that. Let me try that again. So twisting them once, and then rather than pulling the entire end through, I'm pulling part of it and leaving the end out there. That way, when you go to open it, you can just pull this bit and it will all come out. Okay, and now I'm just going to twist the fabric a little bit around to create a little bit of a bow embellishment. And look at that. What do you think? I think that's really beautiful. I mean, yes, on the bottom there's fabric that's really been bundled, but that's not the part that you see. You're gonna see this part when I put it in front of him, and that's gonna look quite beautiful. I think that's more beautiful than a paper wrapping, and it's reusable. So for how many times we've reused this, we probably would have had a whole bin full of paper to recycle. So this is a really great option. So that's the book wrapped. So for this strategy, I have the pink scarf to wrap around the black scarf. So this is going to become my bow. So for wrapping the game in the black scarf, I don't need to be conscious of having pieces left over like we did with the book to create the bow. We're going to create the bow out of the pink scarf. So what's most important now, what we need to focus on, is keeping all the bits tucked in so that it looks as neat as possible. So I've started by tucking the ends and the frills right into the middle of the one side. And then again, we're narrowing our folds away from the original gift. And then we can roll and see how that turns out. Now we need to widen it a little bit so that it covers the entirety of the gift. Okay. And so I'm always just readjusting the edges of the scarf as I'm rolling. And actually I can see that the end is still poking out, so let's fold over again, fold over, and then roll. Okay, yeah, now we're getting good coverage. It's quite dark on the ends, a little bit of color still, so let's fold over again on either side. Okay, now we have this frilly bit again, so I want to make sure that this isn't sticking out. That won't look as nice, or at least not what I'm going for with this present wrap. So I've tucked it in, and then we're just going to fold that over the gift. Okay, so I mean, a little bit of color is still popping through the original, but you certainly can't tell what it is. We have our little burrito gift, and so just tucking in the ends is as well as possible. Actually, let's make this more into a point, because that's going to be easier to hide once we get the bow in. Okay, and I'm going to pull this tight so it really tucks in these ends. Okay, so I have a neat little package. I'm going to get my embellishment scarf. There we go. Okay, let's see. Maybe like a cross. That kind of makes it a little bit messy versus it looks quite neat if we keep it in the center. So we're gonna do a twist to secure, and then we're gonna wrap it around. Okay, and then let's spread out the scarf a bit just to make it a little bit nicer and finished looking. Good. Okay, and then back at the twist, we're going to do a knot. Good. So it's knotted, it's secure, and then we have these big ends to play with. So let's just try a traditional bow. So a little bit lopsided, we'll adjust that. Then we still have a lot of pieces here. Let's see what happens if we do a second bow. Okay, let's try fanning out these pieces a little bit, making them a little bit more symmetrical. And that's quite cute. Okay, so last one. So we're gonna put this right in the middle of the scarf, but near the end of the scarf. I'm gonna wrap it all the way around and fold over the end. And then we're going to roll the box over and around the scarf. Okay, and carefully tucking the ends in as we go. Now I want to continue to wrap it around the ends so we don't have the ends visible. So I'm just fanning out the scarf. We're gonna go into the fanned out section so that we can wrap it again. This just helps keep the scarf bundled, the material not to billow out too much. And we have to, I can see that the end is still visible, so we're going to try again, a fan out and wrap over. Okay, let's have a look at those ends. And still holding the fabric tightly, that's just gonna keep it from accumulating too much. And then pulling the fabric taut, narrowing it down, pulling it around. So you can see what's happened. It's really come out beyond the edge of this box, and that's not what we want. It doesn't look as neat. It looks a bit sloppy. So we're gonna just rewrap those last bits that cause that to happen. So I didn't pull it taut enough and narrow enough away from the box so that when I wrapped it, it came over the edges like I showed you. So really narrowing this, and narrow the end some more. And now we're gonna wrap it and tuck in the ends as we go. So readjusting, looking for pieces that are coming out and pulling taut. Okay, so now I'm looking at what side I like best to plan for what's going to be the top of the gift. So this one really looks the neatest. So we're gonna have that as the top of the gift. So we start with the scarf around the top, pulling taut, and then tucking in the bits that are coming out, and then twisting to secure it. This one, I think it would be nice if we did the crossover, so not just wrapping around the width, but wrapping around the length as well. And we have quite a bit of excess of scarf for this one. So I'm going to do a twist and a knot. And there we go. So before we go any further, let's really adjust the burgundy scarf to appear how we want it to appear. Okay, great. So we have this tight little bundle, looks quite nice. And now we have all this excess burgundy scarf to work with. So let's try multiple bows like we did with the other one and see how that goes. So you have to consistently or repeatedly pull the bows in and out to get them to be the right size. So to make them smaller, you can pull on the ends, but when we do that, it does loosen the bows as well. So it's a little bit of playing around with it to really get the bows to be the size that you want them to be. Oh, and it started shrinking the bows underneath. So just be mindful of that. Now this is a very silky scarf, so I find it doesn't hold as tight as the other ones that are a little bit rougher. Being so smooth, there's not as much to grip, so it doesn't stay as firm as the other ones do, so just be mindful of that if you are working with a smoother fabric. Okay, I really like how that bow is turning out, but I have this really long piece, so what I'm going to do is try to do a single bow, single-sided bow I should say, and then keep this bit out. So this is actually the same technique as we used on the burgundy present where we tied a knot that's easy to pull out, and that's just getting a single-sided loop. Okay, and then we can tuck the ends underneath. And it's just a matter of balancing all these loops until you get something that is elegant and beautiful. And if you're ever not happy with your piece, just start over again. That's the great thing about using fabric to wrap your gifts, is you can wrap it as many times as you like. And there we go. There's our gift. So here's our Valentine's Day gifts wrapped in reusable fabric. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please press like below. And in the comment section, please write down any ideas you might have of things you'd like to see me do, things you'd like me to teach you, or if you have any questions about things I showed you today, happy to answer them. Okay, if you want to see more crafting ideas from Crafters Groves, please subscribe. Take care.